This pandemic has been causing a lot of cybersecurity issues, and one of the most common are scams related to COVID-19. Now, with people being laid off from their jobs, there's been a great influx of people logging into state unemployment insurance sites. And sure enough, the scammers have been taking advantage of that by filing false unemployment claims. They do this with stolen credentials, for instance, stolen social security numbers, make a false claim in someone else's name, and have the money paid into someone else's account. The United States Secret Service put out a bulletin warning how, in particular, government workers, first responders, falling victim to this scam, sometimes without their knowledge. So I have here today some of our security analysts to ask about what you can do to prevent being a victim and what you should do if you become one. First of all, Jim Clausing, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Jim, what's a step someone can take to prevent or make sure that they're not being exploited by this scam?
Well, one of the things you can do is proactively go ahead and log into the state's unemployment system and see if there are claims that have been made using your social security number. Now, we've heard a lot of horror stories in March and April about having trouble getting connected to the unemployment systems. Fortunately, that seems to be getting better. But, to proactively go and check and see if, in fact, claims have been made using your social would be a good first step.
Let me ask Matt Kaiser next. Matt, what should you do if you log into your state's unemployment website, as Jim recommended, and you do discover that there is a false unemployment claim in your name?
I think at that point, you've got two things you absolutely have to do. The first thing is to reach out to that unemployment office and let them know that this is the case, that someone else has filed in your name impersonating you, and that you actually haven't tried to collect these benefits yet. That means that they can hopefully take some sort of corrective action, get that money back. And the other people you have to talk to are your current or previous employer, depending on what your situation is. Basically, if you are still hoping to get those benefits, it would really be terrible if your boss thinks that you've already gathered that, you've already collected those, that they're no longer going to be open to that. Or previous employers, I think, would also be the right people to talk to, at least to give them that notification that, hey, this wasn't me, because there's a very good chance that you may actually need to file for unemployment at some point in the future, and you don't want to have some sort of conflicting record showing that you've already been given what you're due.
Folks that you probably should contact are law enforcement.
That's a good point.
Okay, and at its heart, this is really an identity theft issue. So, Andy, in any case of identity theft, what should one do?
Well, the government has actually a really great website dedicated to identity theft and what you should do right away, what to do next. They've laid out a lot of steps that you can take. They've got it grouped into what you do right away, what you do next, other possible steps. What you should do first is you call the companies where the fraud occurred. You place a fraud alert and get your credit reports. You report the identity theft to the FTC. And then you can, as Jim mentioned, you can report it to your local police department. But identitytheft.gov is going to be a great resource for you in understanding the steps that you need to take now, but also other steps that you maybe should take not so immediately. And there's also a lot of links in here to different things like utilities and phones, government benefits, certain accounts that you should go look at and make sure is clear. And there's also special forms that you could fill out tax-wise to help you in that situation, which are all laid out on this government website.
Well, thank you all for that great advice. Thanks to all of you for watching, and as always, stay safe.